Tim Collins with Coleman today. I'm at Coleman Middle School with candidate Joey Orr. Joey, you're running for place 1,
Yes,
Coleman
sir.
City School Board. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, before we talked, you were telling me about your extensive background. It really is. Can you tell folks about your background and how you come to all this?
Yes, I am. I'm not a Coleman native, but my family is all from Coleman. My dad was an officer in the Army, and so we traveled a good bit, but this was always home base for holidays, vacations, Easters, things like that. So I felt like Coleman was always home because as a military brat, you really don't have a home, but this was home base for us. And when it came time for my husband and I to relocate, my parents had already retired and moved back home, and we decided this is where we wanted to make home. Coleman is an amazing town. I can't think of a better place to raise children.
And you have kids in the school system, correct?
Yes, sir, I do. I have 3 children. Macy is going to be in 10th grade at the high school. Jaden will be in 8th grade at the middle school, and Avery will be in 5th grade at West Elementary. So I'm spread out all over the district. I get to go through the car lines with everybody else. As far as my background that we were talking about earlier, Tim, I have an education background. I graduated with my BS in education, and I taught for 13 years. I actually taught for 5 years at Coleman City Primary School, and I left Coleman City Primary School not because I didn't love teaching, but because God called me into ministry full-time. I'm a children's minister at Grace Chapel, but I'm still getting to teach. I'm still getting to use that gift that God's given me, but I'm not in the classroom anymore. My master's degree is in administration, and so I've kind of experienced some of the things that principals and superintendents go through just through classes, not like behind the scenes. And then also I'm a community member. So parent, community member, teacher, and administration degree. So I feel like I've got a lot of the different components to be able to represent a lot of different voices.
Well, it sounds like you've seen things from many different angles. That makes you uniquely qualified. But let's get into, with that background, well, how do you take that and translate it into being a school board member?
I'm going to start with the children as I answer that question because that is the main reason I'm doing this. I feel like our kids, we need to think when we're making decisions as a school board, not just about kids. We need to think about the individual, personalize what we are doing as a board and the decisions that we are being made. That's when you're going to find the most success, because they're not just Coleman City students. It's Tom and Cindy and whatever. It's an individual thing. Also, the teacher perspective, I think a lot of times our teachers are not polled or not asked about what works. And when we met with the Alabama School Board representative, she had a great quote. She said, the school board, if you're going on a trip, the school board sets the destination, but the superintendent, administrators, and teachers pick the vehicles to get there. That really stuck with me. I feel like we need to be talking to our teachers more and getting input from them. They're the foot soldiers. They're the ones that know what's going on. And so I think personalizing and making our education about the people that we serve and the people that serve alongside us is the most important.
So if I'm hearing what you're saying correctly, rather than being a top-down administrator, school board member, you're going to get out in the trenches and talk face-to-face with students, teachers, and bring that information up to the main office, right?
Yes, it is. And I feel like I already do that quite a bit. I've served on PTAs. I'm in the schools a lot with Youth for Christ. I'm probably speaking somewhere at least once a month in a Youth for Christ setting. And I've subbed this last semester. I subbed in the schools too. And so I feel like our school boards should be in our schools on daily would be amazing, but a weekly basis, feeling comfortable, so it's not like, oh my goodness, there's a school board member here. It's, hey Joey, how are you? And to have that kind of relationship with the people that are in our schools.
I follow you. Now, let's get into politics. The least part about this, you are running for office, you're opposed, it could be a tough election. I don't want to get into your tactics and secret world, but what are you going to be doing to generate some votes?
Well, I'm trying to speak with individuals as much as I can. We've got a few events where we're going to be out walking around in communities. I'm trying to do a lot of social media. So much of our world is now social media, so I'm doing a lot. I'm trying to stay up with that and getting the information about me that I want people to know about and learn about me. I'm trying to get that on social media and just having a lot of friends that are trying to get my name out there with other people as well.
Gotcha. Now let me ask you a couple of questions. As you have reviewed, I'm sure you have city schools, school board, superintendent, everything. What is the greatest strength that you see in the Coleman City school system?
The greatest strength, I think it's our teachers. I really do. We have an amazing staff here. We have teachers that, so many of them already they're master's degree level teachers. We have a lot with national board certification, and so many of them pour their own personal money into our school systems. They care about the kids, not just in the 7 hours they're in the day. They care about our kids when they go home, when they come in the morning, if they have food, if they've had a good night's sleep. These teachers have a heart. That's why they're doing what they're doing, and they are our biggest strength.
All right, now, Joey, I'm going to ask you one last question. It's a tough one. I'm going to reverse it and flip what we just asked.
Okay.
Coleman City Schools is really a pretty good school system. There's no
Yes,
question
it is.
about that. But there's things that need to be moved forward, addressed. What's the number one challenge that you see?
I think in this next upcoming year or so, we are growing, and that is a great compliment into our city and our community. We are bringing in industry, we're bringing in jobs, and our schools are growing tremendously, which causes an overcrowding situation. So I feel like that's one of the things that the school board this next year will be facing, is some big decisions on how we're going to meet the demand for the increased population of our schools.
Gotcha. Joey, thanks so much for spending time with me. I wish you the best of luck in the August 23rd election.
Thank you so much.
Joey Orr, Place 1, Coleman City Schools.